Okay, I think the live stream is up and running correctly. I'm just going to check volume levels before we get going. I've been away for a week while my PC was being repaired, so today might be rather interesting as I uncover things or shake off the rust of not having flown or touched the simulator for a week. So yeah, the sound's looking okay. Let's go and jump inside the aeroplane. So we are in the BAe 146 at Torp, near Sandefjord in southern Norway, and we're going to be flying the BAe 146, if I can remember how to fly it, up to Tromso, so it should be good fun. It's a bit of a unique aeroplane. It's been around since Flight Sim 2020 in the simulator. It's a fantastic piece of work. It's very, very flexible. And oh, thank you very much. I'm seeing the live streams comments coming in with people saying welcome back. So yeah, thank you so much. It's been very odd not being able to go on the sim for a week. As you may have heard if you read my blogs, I went and bought myself a Commodore 64 to keep myself busy. Which was a bit of a rabbit hole, well, a massive rabbit hole, and it's been hugely entertaining. Anyway, we can talk about that while we're in flight. Let's go and get this aeroplane up and running. So to get the aeroplane up and running, I don't believe I've got it in front of you. There's a link in the notes of the video to a document that I have prepared. So if I go for BAe 146, you can see there's the document there briefly showing that my PC was returned. Anyway, so this is the document I will be following. You can get a copy of it via a link in the notes, and it takes you through how to configure this aeroplane for flight. I may well extend it later on. So if you do buy a copy of it, or you've already got a copy of it, if you see me send a message out that I've updated it, then you'll be able to obviously get the new version for free. The reason I may extend it is, where is it? Let me just look through it. Here we go. At the moment, this is one step saying program the UNS-1. It's a huge job. I'm going to turn that into a step-by-step exactly what to do, because it's not straightforward. Okay. Anyway, that's what I'll be working through. I've got it on a second screen alongside me, and we'll see how we go. So this is the BAe 146. A lot of people like the more digital modern version of this aeroplane, the Avro RJ100 in the simulator. Oh, there's two versions, aren't there? Is it RJ70 and RJ100? Anyway, this was the predecessor. So this is the much more manual aircraft, and there's quite a lot to it, as you can see. Yeah. And there's very little in the way of, it had kind of retrofitted avionics kit to do guidance. It's got an initial reference system to help with guidance that's actually a little bit more advanced than you might see in some of the Fokkers or the some of the other aircraft of the era. So this obviously came along later. You can configure what you have inside the cockpit up here, so you can see FMS navigation and some options there. Anyway, if we want to get the yoke out of the way, we can click the little handle at the side of the cockpit and it will disappear. So I'm just going to pop that yoke off while we are getting things ready, and then we'll go and fire up the aeroplane. I'm just noticing this is orange. I'm hoping that's not a crash. I'm hoping it's just a bar covering the altimeter readout. We'll find out. So first things first then, we're going to go Shift 7 to go overhead and turn the batteries on. Actually, I'm going to do things slightly out of order. So we've got the batteries on. I may well revise the checklist for this, because I'm going to be using a SimBrief flight plan. I'm using Say Intentions in the background that's going to be providing air traffic services during the flight. You can see the battery's almost out on the tablet. Hopefully it will start charging once we get it. Once we get the airplane up and running. So we're going to go into the OFP, and we're going to continue to link up with SimBrief to go and get the flight plan. The only reason to do that is so I can put the fuel in the airplane quickly. So I'm going to do this slightly out of order. So if we go into airplane, we can now import the flight plan from SimBrief, and then we can start refueling. So we'll do the refueling instantly. So that's now done. We can also go and load the passengers. So that's now done, and you can hear them chattering away in the background, probably very quietly. So that gives us obviously our numbers for the weight, but also in terms of turning on the APU and things like that, so we're not going to ruin the aeroplane. So overhead, we're going to put the nav light to high intensity, the no smoking sign to auto, and the cabin emergency lights to armed, and they are here. So on the far left, your damper can go to on for 1 and 2. The autopilot master switch can go to on, and the avionics A and B can both go to on. Anti-skid and lift spoilers, the anti-skid can go to on. Lift spoilers yellow and green go to on. Then press shift and 7 to come further down the cockpit. On the electrical panel, bus tie AC and DC go to auto. So they are here. So I think, are they already on? Yeah, they were already on. So they've changed that. Standby inverters, standby inverters and standby generators to armed. They already are armed by the look of it, yes. And the APU generator can go to on. The left inner fuel pump can go to on. That will provide fuel for the APU in a moment. And the APU master start switch can go to start. And you'll see the needle climb around. And it will come up saying APU power available on a light over here. One of these lights, I can never remember which one it is. It's going to be that one, isn't it? I think, oh no, it's APU fire. It's that one, isn't it? Anyway, we'll find out when it lights up. So when this gets all the way around, the APU gen should kick in and we'll get power. There we go. It was the bottom one. Okay, so flight deck emergency lights can go to armed. Then on the aft console, press shift and 4 to get there. The yaw damper can go to on, so you just press the button and it lights up. The left and right side panels in the cockpit, so we use shift and space to line our view up. We can go and turn on or arm the oxygen systems. We're going to do that both for the pilot and the co-pilot. And then shift and 7 takes us back overhead. Center tank transfer goes to auto. I'm trying to remember where all these things are. There we go. Ice protection under the cover over here goes to on and recover it again. The front pedestal comm radios can go to on now. So we will go and turn this one on and this one on. Wait for them to come alive. So we've already done some of the bits in the tablet. We went and fetched the Simbury flight plan, so it's already in here. So this is where I may rewrite the procedure slightly. So then once we've done that, we can go and look over at the instrument panels. So yeah, there are some things to correct in here. So we're going to go and turn the flight directors on, both sides. Nav 1 we need to turn on, so we rotate the switch slightly. And then we can flick the switch on Nav 2 as well. Why has this not switched on? Interesting. Oh, we have to press the button in. That's the DME switch, sorry. I told you I would be rusty. Calibrate the altimeters, so we'll press comma. And we can see the altimeters correct themselves for the local barometric pressure. And then we're going to go program the UNS1. So we're going to go and press power on both of them. We can go and put the... Has this got a test signal on the weather radar, by the way? Standby. There we go. So we're just waiting for it to do the database checks. And should be good. It will ask us to accept the data. I've updated Navigraph, so it's got good data as far as August, which should help us. Okay, so to get a Simbury flight plan, we press menu, and then we go load SimBrief route. I've already typed in my pilot ID, so it's already there, so I can just say request. And that will pull in the routing. That is only the route, that is not the departure or the arrival. So we need to go into menu still, and then we can say we want to get the departure. So then we go and have a look at our flight plan. So I'm going to use LittleNavMap because it's nice and easy and it's free and lots of people have got it. We could do this in LittleNavMap or in Navigraph, it really doesn't matter. So we're departing runway 17 and using the Elvo 3 Golf departure. So actually, before we do this, should we go and talk to clearance? So we're going to go and tune in. Well, I don't think I've actually got a specific clearance channel at Torp, so we'll go straight to the tower. Actually, no, it would be ground, wouldn't it? So we're on the ground frequency. Before we do that, let's go to ATIS and get the information.
RD Airport. Information
Zulu.
Papa.
Oh no, Papa, sorry.
10200.
That's the time, obviously.
Arriving
Information
Papa.
Papa.
Runways 1817.
So we're requesting clearance to Tromso with information Papa. Today we are Eurowings 073, by the way. We can see that outside. If we look outside the aeroplane, I'll show you in a moment. Torp ground, Eurowings 073, requesting clearance to Tromso with information Papa. Would help if my voice didn't suddenly become croaky.
Eurowings 073, runway 17 in use. After departure, report VASA 2,500 feet or below. Squawk 4272.
Runway 17 in use. After departure, report VASA 2,500 feet or below. Squawk 4272. Eurowing 073. That's thrown me slightly. That's not how I was expecting it to have been cleared down to us. Let's try it.
073, read back correct.
So let's have a look at our flight plan and see if it's got VASA on the flight plan. No, it hasn't. So I've filed this with SimBrief. I wonder if I have to mention the word IFR. I wonder if this has changed in the last week. Torp ground Eurowing 073 requesting IFR clearance as filed to Tromso with information Papa. Let's see if it's any different.
Eurowing 073, cleared to Tromso.
There we go.
Via the Elvo 3 Golf departure.
So they've tightened that up a bit. You have to be a little bit more declarative.
Departure on 124.355. Squawk 4272.
Clear to Tromso via the Elvo 3 Golf departure, runway 17, initial climb 4,000 feet, departure on 124.355, squawk 4272, Eurowings 073. Yeah, you have to be a bit more declarative now then when you request clearance.
Eurowing 073, read back correct.
They don't take for granted that you filed the flight plan anymore. That's good. So, squawk 4272. So we're going to, hopefully if I don't press the wrong keys on the keyboard, come down here, put the transponder onto, it's good on standby, we're going to go 4272. And then we are going to go and put the initial altitude for the climb to 4,000 feet. And we're going to arm that. Otherwise it will fly straight through 4,000 feet. I do remember some things about this aeroplane. Okay, so now we've got the basics. We can go in here and put runway 17. So we have to key the number next to it, not the runway number. So runway option number 1 is 17. Press enter. And the Elvo 3 Golf, which was number 4. And then press enter. And then we can go back to flight plan and you'll see that those first few steps are now in the flight plan. So then we go and do the arrival into Tromso, and let's go check what we've got. I've gone and closed the browser, haven't I, which had a flight plan in it. So go back to SimBrief, go to the dispatch system, view my flight plan, and we've got the Atwert to Mike into runway 18. Well, that's what it says anyway. So runway 18 is number 1. Enter. Atwert to Mike. Just double check that. And then runway 18. So got the tab order wrong there. Number 1 on the options. Press enter. ILS Zulu into runway 18, which is number 2. And then I think it was non-RU I saw on the flight plan earlier. Let's go and have a look. Yeah, it's going to be non-RU, which is the waypoint off of the end of the star. Number 3. Enter. And there we go. So that's the flight plan done. So we go and press the flight plan button now. We can see it in there. Flight plan summary. It's quite cool, isn't it, this? If we press nav, we'll see summary there. Okay, so we've programmed the route into the UNS. We're going to configure the nav radios as required. Now, what you need to do, if you're going to be using guidance, so this switch here, because this is an old aeroplane, it's got this little retrofitted switch. Nav will use the radios. Our nav will use the GPS. Or inertial navigation system in our case. We're going to configure the MCP as required, so we could say we are going to be using... Let's just go through the buttons actually. So this is an indicator, not a button. The rest are buttons. So you've got altitude hold, vertical speed, Mach hold, so VNAV, indicated airspeed, VOR lock, I can't remember what B-lock does. Turbulence, so that makes it a bit more active in handling turbulence. Lateral navigation, that's the one we're going to be using. Okay, and for climb out we'll probably be using indicated airspeed mode, but I won't touch it just yet. So we could use vertical speed, but again we're not going to use it. This aeroplane tends to be reactive in that when you activate something it holds the value you're at the time. So we'll only set lateral navigation to begin with. We will go and set the heading bug though, and I'm just trying to remember how all this works. So there's the courses, and the heading bug is... There's the heading marker. Is it set down here? No, there's the pitch control for the autopilot. Altitude selector. VHF nav, splits for nav 1, nav 2. It's worth saying as well, you can have the pilot and co-pilot having their own setup, which is split, or if you force nav 1, you both see the same on your HSI, or if you force nav 2, for example. There's the heading bug. So there's the heading controller, sorry, for the heading bug. So we want that to be 170 for takeoff. So we could use heading mode for takeoff rather than lateral navigation mode, so that's probably a good idea. Okay, so on our initial climb out we will manually trim the aeroplane. Something else that's worth pointing out on this aeroplane, if you've never seen it before, it's got kind of a halfway house towards auto throttles. It's called the thrust modulation system. So we're going to go and turn that on just to show you it. So you can set various modes for the engines to be running at, or you can sync the throttles. So what it's really doing is, beyond where the levers are for the throttles, there are servos underneath them that connect to the actual throttles, and this allows it to fine-tune them within a certain percentage of the stick position. Okay, so you can have, you know, finely tuned power output. And you can, and obviously it can tune the engines as well for takeoff, maximum continuous thrust, or a target that you can set in here, and you can set which engine is used as the reference. So I've got a whole video about that from the distant past where I understood it completely for at least one day. So let's turn it back off for the moment, and we'll turn it back on when we get to the appropriate point to look at it. So we are going to go and click on the flip chart over here. Yeah, I think you can do it this way. So if you watch the bugs on the airspeed indicator, we're going to say we want to take off with 18 degrees of flap. Okay, so we click on this and notice all the markers have moved. So that clicking on this on the little table programs all of the bugs for you. It's a really lovely little shortcut. So Shift and 7 takes us overhead. We're going to go and put the seatbelt signs on, and then we're going to go and do the pushback. So before we do that, we need to talk to ground again. I think we're already tuned into ground. So within here we've got pushback controls in the aircraft section. They're in here. Torp ground, Eurowings 073 requesting pushback and engine start. Let's go and have a look at the airport layout.
Eurowings 073, push and start approved, face northeast.
Face northeast. Push and start approved, face northeast, Eurowings 073. So to begin with, we just want to go and connect the truck. Have we got a truck nearby, or is it going to be invisible? I think it might be invisible today. And then we're going to say go backwards and take the parking brake off. You can see the nose lifting. So is it actually simulating one under there? Oh, we haven't removed the chocks yet. Let's get rid of the chocks as well, otherwise we're not going anywhere. And we want to make our tail go to the left. No, sorry, our right. That'd be dangerous if I got this right, wouldn't I? So let's see how much room we've got. Okay, while we're waiting for that to happen, we're going to go overhead and turn the beacon light on, ready to start the engines. We're going to go further down, turn all of the fuel pumps on, and I'll wait to start engines until we're roughly the right place on the apron. It's worth pointing out, I don't think I've got the cabin crew enabled in Say Intentions. I'll show you how to do that as well. So we're going to stop the pushback, cancel it, and put the parking brake back on. And let's go back into Say Intentions. I'll quickly show you this. So I'm not sure who we've got in the cockpit with us. We want to go to your crew. We want the cabin crew. Yeah, I haven't got a cabin crew set. So let's have, should we have Astrid today? We've got a tour guide as well, that's fine. And we've got a mentor. We haven't got a co-pilot, so get rid of our mentor. Let's go to co-pilots. And there's Amanda. Let's just move this up a little bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Eurowings Flight 073.
And that's Caroline kicking
We are
it.
delighted to have you with us today as we journey to Tromso.
Or was it Astrid? I can't
Please
remember
take
now.
your seats according to your boarding passes and stow your
Astrid.
hand luggage in the
Amanda and
overhead
Astrid.
bins or under
There we
the
go.
seats in front of you. If you need any assistance,
Okay, so
to reach out to any
engine
member of our
start overhead.
thank you for choosing
We're going to
fly with us
put the
today.
start master to on. And then we're going to select each engine in turn to do this. So we'll just do them in order. Runway, engine number 4. And then we're going to hit start. And you'll see all the lights come on. If you look down here, you will see the speed coming up on N2. When N2 comes through 10%, which it has just done, we can go and flick the fuel control lever to move it out of shut-off, or the throttle lever I should say, and you can see turbine gas temperature is going up and N1 is climbing, so that's the turbofan. So that's the axle speed of the gas turbine. That's the speed of the turbofan. If you go and look outside, you can see. So if we look around this side, we'll see engine number 4 is hopefully spinning up. So if we look overhead, we can see the lights have now gone out, so we can go over engine number 3 and start engine number 3. So we're looking for N2 to come up through 10%. And there it goes. And then move throttle 3 out of shut-off. And wait for these lights to go out. Okay, engine number 2, start. Watching N2 again. It's been a while, hasn't it, since I've flown this aeroplane. It's been a while since I've been in the simulator. Thank you so much to all the people saying welcome back in the comments. It means a lot. It's been very strange not having a simulator for a week. It's going to be even worse in September through to October because I'm going away for 4 weeks. So I'm going to try and queue up some content that I can have during that time. Did I start number 2? Yes, I did. So engine number 1. Yeah, so I'm going away for 4 weeks from the middle of September through to the middle of October. It's my 25th wedding anniversary, so we're going on a cruise. It's going to be interesting. So there's engine number 1. We've been saving up for 2 years. We haven't really had a proper holiday for 2 years. So I've been working like a Trojan, and finally going to go away. Going to go and see some of the world. Okay, so overhead we can go and turn generators 1 and 4 to on. And then we can turn packs 1 and 2 to on, turn all of the engine airs to on.
Lima November, November Hotel Quebec, taxi to parking at your discretion. Have a great day.
Now, have we finished yet? So this is finished working now, so we can turn that off, turn the master off. So brake fans can go to auto. They are up here. Hydraulics, engine 2 and 3. Hydraulic pumps can go to on. So the heaters can all go to on. Landing lights and taxi lights go to down, which means taxi lights basically. Okay, so in the aircraft app we have various announcements we can make the aeroplane to make, which will kind of go over the top. Oh, why is it flashing in here? Did we never load the passengers? No. I don't know why that's flashing. That's very odd. Or we're still waiting for cargo. It did that, it did that. Zero fuel weight. Have we taken too long and that's why it's flashing maybe?
Lima November Oscar Mike Zulu ready to taxi.
Forward cargo is flashing.
Lima
Why?
November Oscar Mike Zulu taxi to holding point runway 18 via Whiskey Whiskey 2, hold short of runway 36. Taxi to holding point runway 18 via Whiskey Whiskey 2, hold short of runway 36. Lima November Oscar Mike Zulu.
I think I've just wiped out the passengers, haven't I? It should have been 97. Enter. Start boarding. It's doing it instantly, so it'll be fine. Boarding in progress. And it's done it. There we go, it's all working now. I don't know what went wrong there. So let's have a look at the lights and see what's left. Flight recorder is off. Parking brake is on. The brake fans are on. Air cell on ground, that's fine. So that's all looking good. We can press the flight plan button over there to see the flight plan. And we're going to request taxi. Or let's just go and check levers, make sure we're working. So, yep, throttles are working. We're on the parking brake still. Flaps are working. So we can go to take off flaps anyway. Trim has kicked in automatically, which is quite cool. Let's have a look outside. Yep, that's working. Okay, let's get the thrust modulation system. We're going to go and set it to takeoff power. So we're going to turn it on.
Lima November Oscar Mike to across runway 36.
We're going to set takeoff power and it will light up across all four. Now notice the arrows have lit up. That means the throttles aren't anywhere near where it can take control of them. Yeah, so that they will only go out when the throttles are pushed forwards. Okay, so we won't worry about that just yet. So I'm going to turn that back off for the moment. Or what you could do actually, if we go and turn this on, because it can still control it on the ground, we're just going to set it to sync for the moment, and it's saying it's using throttle number 1 as the master. Okay, so you can flick between the different throttles. So in other words, it will make the others synchronize with engine number 1. Okay, so we have head tracking, we have the taxi lights on, we're ready to go. Taking a long time over this because I'm trying to shake the rust off, as well as explain things as I go. So we're going over to runway 17. Torp ground, Eurowing 073, requesting taxi to runway 17.
Eurowing 073, taxi to holding point runway 17 via Tango Whiskey 2, hold short of runway 36.
Taxi via Tango Whiskey 2, hold short runway 36, Eurowing 073. So we go straight across basically and then stop short. So parking brake off. And we are rolling. Gate gourmet on the truck. I wouldn't say the food on airplanes is gourmet food. Maybe it is on Scandinavian Airlines.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Eurowings Flight 073 heading to Tromso. Our estimated flight time is 1 hour and 55 minutes. Please pay close attention to the upcoming safety demonstration as it contains important information for everyone, even our frequent flyers.
What's our
Fasten
cruise
your seatbelts by
altitude?
inserting the metal tip into the buckle and pulling the
Oh,
strap
we're only
to
going
tighten.
to 13,000. Oh, that's the initial.
Your seatbelt must be
Let's have a look at
fastened
the flight
whenever
plan.
the seatbelt sign is illuminated. Please
Oh, then we're
return
going
your
up to
seatbelts and tray tables to the upright position
30,000
and
feet.
ensure your window blinds are open for takeoff and landing. Mobile phones and electronic devices must be set to flight mode, and larger devices should be securely stowed during takeoff and landing. Smoking and the use of e-cigarettes are prohibited anywhere on board, including the lavatories. Oxygen masks will drop automatically if needed. Pull the mask firmly. Place it
Eurowing
over your nose
073,
and
cross
mouth.
runway 36, then continue taxi via Charlie
Remember to
Yankee Alpha.
secure your own mask before assisting.
Cross runway 36, then continue taxi via Charlie Yankee Alpha, Eurowing 073.
Use, pull it out, put it over your head and fasten it. Inflate it only after leaving the aircraft. Special life vests for children are available.
So if we have a quick
Floor
look,
level will guide you to the
all they
nearest
mean is go
exit.
Charlie Yankee and then
We have
Alpha.
2 exits at the front and 2 at the rear of the aircraft. The nearest exit may be behind you. In case of evacuation, leave all personal belongings behind and follow the crew's instructions immediately. If any electronic device becomes hot or catches fire, please inform a crew member right away. For more details, refer to the safety information card in your seat pocket. Thank you for your attention and enjoy your flight with us today.
So there's a really interesting comment there. Someone's written in the live stream that you need a degree to fly this thing. Actually, no. This aeroplane is wonderfully mechanical. So it looks horrific because there's lots of dials, because there's 4 engines. But in terms of actual guidance, it's very manual. So you'll see that there's no auto throttle, for example. So you can use that to your advantage. So on climb out, we'll get somewhere around 250 knots, and then we'll hit indicated airspeed mode. And it will hold the current airspeed. So it has got a marker here that we can move around. Yeah? And that's just a visual reference for yourself. So we've just set it to slightly less. But that's just a physical marker. It's got nothing to do with the avionics system. Just taxiing down to the end of the runway. There's somebody else lining up to leave right now, look. We're about to go and have a head-on with a car on the taxiway. Thud. I've got live weather on. I'm not sure what the weather's going to be like up in Tromso, but we'll find out. Let's see what we can do in here as well. Can we have a moving map? Yes, we can. That's pretty cool. Do the charts from Navigraph also include the map? Yes, they do. Oh, I need to go and... I haven't connected my Navigraph login to the aeroplane yet. I have to do that later. I could do it now, I guess. So if I go to charts and log in, have I got it on my phone? Let's just have a quick look. Oh, it's going to take me ages because I'm going to have to go through multiple levels of security, so we're not going to bother with that for today. We'll just use the map.
Eurowing 073, contact tower on 118.655.
Contacting tower 118.655, Eurowing 073. I'll just get myself lined up on the holding point first. Parking brake on. Say intentions we want, don't we? We can get rid of this, by the way. Let's go to the tower frequency, 118.655. Torp tower, Eurowing 073, holding short for runway 17.
Eurowing 073, Torp Tower, runway 17, winds 210 at 12, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 17, Eurowing 073. So we've got flaps already done. we'll get lined up in a moment and switch this to takeoff mode. We're going to go and switch the lights over now. Whoa, there's somebody coming in.
Approaching runway 17.
Torp Tower, Eurowing 073. We are just coming onto runway 17. There are light aircraft on a final approach.
Eurowing 073, roger. Hold position, advise.
Holding position, Eurowing 073. Oh dear, they're in trouble. Okay, so we're going to go, while we're waiting here, we're going to go and light ourselves up like a Christmas tree. Strobes on. No smoking sign goes to on. I think auto would be on anyway. So then, what else do we need to do? Shift and 7. So landing lights, taxi lights go to landing. That's done already. So then TCAS goes to TA.
Lima November Charlie Sierra,
mode.
Zulu runway 18, winds 210 at 12, cleared for the option.
18, cleared for option. Lima November Charlie Sierra Zulu.
Advance throttle. So yeah, we're good to go now. So Tower Eurowing 073 still holding short runway 17. Are we clear to go yet? We shouldn't be, because look.
Eurowings 073, runway 17, winds 210 at 12, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 17, Eurowing 073. Oh, we're going to go anyway.
Cabin crew, please take your seats for takeoff.
Cabin is secure.
Approaching runway 17.
Yeah, there's something weird going on with St. Tensions today with the GA aircraft. Let's just have a little look. I may have turned it up.
7 remaining. 8.
So what I'll need to do is go into the settings, go and look at the traffic injection. Give it a second. Settings, traffic injection. That's on 0. It's on a decent setting. Okay, I'll leave it alone. Okay, we're ready to go. We've already been given clearance. So I'm going to turn head tracking off to do this because I need to do a few things quickly after we take off.
36, holding short, Lima November
So,
Sierra India.
takeoff mode.
Power set, flex achieved. Speed alive, both sides. Knots cross-checked.
We'll go to LNAV mode anyway. I'm not going to bother with heading mode.
V1. Rotate.
Well, the airplane rotated itself.
Traffic.
Trimming us gently, nose down. Flaps up.
Clear of conflict. Eurowing 073, contact Paris departure on 124.355.
Where are we? Contacting Faris departure 124.355, Eurowing 073. Faris departure, Eurowing 073 departing Torp on the Elvo 3 Golf departure. So we should get to 4,000 feet and level out.
073, Faris departure identified. Climb flight level 100.
Climbing flight level 100, Eurowing 073. So I'm just rearming that at 10,000 feet, so it will carry on at the speed it's going uphill. Oh, actually, is it taking note of the indicated airspeed target? I think it might be. I didn't think it did. So we've got indicated airspeed mode. What we could do, if we wanted to go faster, is go vertical speed mode, so it will take the speed we're going, and we'll drop the nose slightly, which is a bit of a fiddle, but so you'll see it should increase in speed if we get that right. You can see indicated, or so climb rate there. So if we zoom out slightly and switch that forward a little bit. So we're just dropping the nose using vertical speed mode. So we're trying to get the speed up, you see. So it's tracking LNAV correctly by the look of it. So speed's getting up towards 250 knots, that's all good. Then we go back to indicated airspeed mode. So it will hold the speed we're doing. Still going, it's still in takeoff climb mode. We'll go maximum continuous thrust now, which will take the power off a little bit. And we'll carry on upstairs. So we've already gone, what was the transition altitude?
Cleared for the ILS runway 18 approach. Descend and maintain flight level 035 until established.
It was 7,000 feet, so we've just gone through the transition altitude. We need to go to standard barometric pressure now. So has this got a button to do it? I don't think it does it? So we go 2992. And same on this side. Oh, but did we ever? Yeah, we did. We did uncage that. I didn't think we did. 2992. That's synchronized. That's easy then. Maybe we don't have to uncage that. Or maybe I just forgot. Oh, I didn't arm it. So altitude hold. We've bust through our altitude clearance. So let's have a look at our flight plan. Where were we? Where's this? Oh, I've shut SimBrief down, haven't I? That was clever. Let's go and open the browser again. SimBrief. Dispatch my flight plan. Show me my flight plan quickly. 130. Let's ask if we can go higher. Or we're going to massively overspeed. Because this hasn't got auto throttles, so I'm going to let it fall back to 250 knots, and then by then hopefully we'll get clearance for higher. So we're talking to Faris. Faris departure, Eurowing 073, requesting higher please.
Salmon sandwiches and a selection of refreshing beverages. After the service, selected items.
Eurowing 073, climb 13,000.
Thank you for flying.
Climbing 13,000, Eurowing 073. This time we'll remember to arm it. And we're going to go indicated airspeed mode now and hit the throttles. So then it will turn the excess thrust into climb rate. So if you watch, there it goes. That's a terrible failing of mine. I used to do this all the time, where you forget to arm the altitude target, so it never levels out. So we're now above 10,000 feet, so the landing lights can come off. Just look like those were lit up. They're not though. I think they light up from behind when they're on. So ice has been detected. So we're going to turn the engine anti-ice on and the wing anti-ice and the tail anti-ice. Coming up towards 13,000 feet. So we need to be careful now about, although we're above 10,000 feet, so we can go beyond 250 knots now. You can see it's leveling out, and as it does so, it's accelerating. So I'm going to pull the throttles back. Contacting Polaris Control 127.255, Eurowing 073, good day. Polaris Control, Eurowing 073 with you at flight level 130.
Eurowing 073, Polaris Control, good afternoon. Identified Frederickstad, QNH 9097.
Why did they give us a QNH when we're above 10,000? We're above the transition altitude, I mean. Interesting.
Polaris Control, Emirates 9658 at flight level 380. Emirates 9658 identified.
So I'm just pulling the throttles back a bit. We're going a bit too quickly here. So we stay at 13,000 feet. Where do we get the altitude lift? At Lilba.
LM41 Bravo with you, flight level 370 for flight level 250.
So we're flying all the way over here at 13,000 feet, and then we get higher in a while. So I'm just looking to maintain throttle at the moment. The interesting thing about the target mode on here is you're really targeting a temperature. So it's no good for targeting an airspeed. So you have to watch the throttles and just have knowledge of the aeroplane, of what to set the engines to. About 83%, I seem to remember, on N1 is good.
Scandinavian 4608, roger.
Oh, thank you so much to Eric Lolo for the contribution on the live stream. Thank you so much. Much appreciated.
Scandinavian 909 with you, flight level 360. Scandinavian 909, Polaris Control identified.
So, ice detection has gone off, so we can go and turn off the ice protection measures. So this is a good sign. No lights on. So this panel here shows you which modes you're operating in. So we've got lateral navigation, and we've got RNAV, which is therefore using the guidance here.
Power line 453 identified.
If you press flight plan, it will show you the current position. It's not clever. It highlights the current position, so we're on page 2 of 4. If you keep pressing it, it will flick through them, so you'll just see it lighting up down the legs. So it's lighting up LVOM. What does that actually mean? It's the one we're going to. Okay, not the one we're going from. So we're heading towards LVOM. And then when we pass through LVOM, we'll carry on for Lulu. Then we get to Lilba. Notice this doesn't have the constraints on it either. So it's this really early days, you don't get a visual representation of your route. Ice has been detected again. Turn all the heaters on.
Polaris Control, KLM 74 Echo at flight level 370.
Can press the button here, so let's go. You can see us on the moving map. It's Oslo. So we're just leaving Sandefjord behind and heading off up towards Tromso. I have no idea why this flight plan keeps us at such low altitudes. Let's have a look. So we're using the IFR low at the moment. Oh yeah, so there's an airway there, look, M125. So we're on the airway, And then when we come through Lillebar, we'll not be on an airway. So we'll be crossing over and joining another airway that heads further north. Interesting.
Whiskey 7 November Juliet, descend flight level 120, pilot's discretion.
So we get rid of the
Flight level 120.
SID.
Whiskey
We've just
7
left the SID.
November Juliet.
Should we ask for hire and tell them we're getting icing from the clouds? We're talking to Polaris, aren't we? Polaris Control, Eurowing 073. Any chance of higher altitude? We keep getting icing in the clouds.
Flight level 150.
Climbing flight level 150, Eurowing 073. So they've let us. That's really cool. So we go 150 on the altitude pre-selector. We arm it. We go indicated airspeed mode, and then we jam the throttles forwards.
Flight level 360, Alpha 5 Delta Yankee.
So if this all looked a bit chaotic during takeoff, that's a combination of A, me being rusty, and B, there's 2 crew in this aeroplane for a very good reason.
Traffic.
Okay, so who's near us? Let's have a look on LittleNavMap.
Level 150.
Down to flight level 150, calm 41 Bravo.
I can't see anybody that would set that off. You'd expect it to have somebody near us. So the buzzer is telling you 900 feet to the next, or klaxon to the next altitude target. So this is saying there's somebody 13.
Scandinavian 4608, descend to flight level 110.
What range has this got? 10 miles.
Flight level
Somebody
170,
to our right.
Flight level 110, Scandinavian 4608.
Unless it's... That's very odd. Normally LittleNavMap would show them, so they would be there. What's going on? So we're levelling out. We need to bring the throttles back to...
Flight level 360.
So putting the throttles back so we don't overspeed.
Up to flight level 360, Scandinavian 804.
So it's about 84, isn't it? Was going to hold our airspeed. There we go. So we can just say sync mode for the moment. So it will make sure that you can see it adjusting the engines.
804, descend to flight level 190 at your discretion. Leaving for flight level 190, Scandinavian 804.
So if it can't manage to move the levers enough, so if they are pushed out of position here, you can see 3 and 4 are slightly less than 1 and 2. It will light up arrows on the thrust modulation system on those engines, basically telling you I can't do it. So the icing's gone away now. Let's go and turn the switches off. If you get high enough and cold enough, ice can't form. So, you know, it won't adhere to the airframe. But obviously, being a little bit higher than the clouds now, we're a little bit happier. Okay. Looking good so far. Should we go and put the weather radar on so we can actually see this weather? I'm not sure if it works or not, or if it's just for show. This is showing 10 miles range. So you've got tilt and range. Let's go 25. Yeah, I'm not sure if it actually works. You'd think it might see some of this, mightn't you? Although it may be it's only going to show rain and not just cloud. Or particularly dense clouds, maybe.
9658, descend to flight level 160, expect lower. Out of flight level 270 for flight level 160, Emirates 9658.
To be honest, I will be massively surprised if this aeroplane, looking at the flight plan here, we're going to be given clearance at Lilba up to 30,000 feet. I'd be amazed if this aeroplane can make it up to 30,000 feet. We'll try though.
Polaris Control, Scandinavian 2864, flight level 190.
Polaris Control identified.
So where is our position? We're just approaching Lilba in a few moments or a few minutes. So then we'll get clearance up to higher altitude, which would be cool. And start our long trip up to Tromso. And we can turn the, obviously once we get up to altitude we can go and turn off the seatbelt signs. It's a bit of a long departure, isn't it? Flying the whole of the SID at 13,000 feet. I've missed this. I've only been away for a week. I wonder how rusty I will become when I go away for a month later in the year. That really will be crazy. So radar altitude obviously isn't reading anything because we're too far above the ground now for it to do anything. So this is reading off obviously the distance to the next waypoint. So 4 miles to run in towards the Lulil waypoint, which you can see here is lit up.
Descending to flight level 110, com 41 Bravo.
And then we fly into Lilba, so it's about 20 miles in between them. And then we get our clearance to climb, which will be fantastic. Going a bit slow actually. Let's get the airspeed up before we start this enormous climb. Although saying that, being a little bit slower means we'll get to higher altitude, so we're not doing such a bad thing holding it at 250 indicated.
0935 identified, good afternoon.
So Mach 0.5 and a bit. Technical terminology there. But yeah, obviously if we're pushing right up against kind of Mach 0.55 and higher, we'll have more problems at higher altitude, but we can always switch to vertical speed mode if we need to and drop the nose.
Scandinavian 804, descend to flight level 110, expect lower.
And let the airspeed bleed off as we get to higher altitudes. We'll see what happens. I don't think I've ever been up beyond 30,000 feet in the BAe 146 before. So it'll be interesting to see if we do have any challenges once we get above, say, 26, 27,000. Obviously it depends on the weather on the day as well. So
Control Scandinavian 4806 at flight level 310. Scandinavian 4806 identified, good afternoon.
So we've got ice detected again because of all this cloud around us.
Flight level 210. Traffic in sight, Emirates 9658.
So ice measures are on. So we should be able to request climb to cruise, I think. Let's just go and double check. Flight level 300. And at SOMUB we can go even higher. Six miles and counting down.
Emirates 9658, descend to flight level 110, expect lower.
Yes, we've got rain at this
Flight level
altitude.
110, Emirates 9658.
15,000. That's not good, is it? No wonder we're getting the ice detections. Polaris Control, Eurowing 073, approaching Lilba at flight level 150, requesting climb to flight level 300.
Flight level 300.
Climbing flight level 300, Eurowing 073. So we go spin this round to 30,000 feet. Arm it. We go a maximum continuous thrust. And then we go, what speed are we doing? About 260. Indicated airspeed mode. And then jam the throttles forwards. So you can see MCT had little blue triangles there for a moment until I pushed the throttles forwards. And now we're climbing. And it's going to try and hold that sort of 260 indicated that we had, or Mach, just over Mach 0.5. It's not the fastest aeroplane in the world. So we're going upstairs now. Ice detection has vanished, so we'll go and turn this off, which will give us actually a little bit more thrust as well. Whoops, that was the wrong one. Oh no, it wasn't. Outer, inner, and tail. So making 1,500 feet a minute. We want to keep an eye on this. It will drop off as we get higher. As I said, this aeroplane isn't the best performance in the universe. It's saying ice detected again. Oh my word. Let's go and just an abundance of caution, I think you would call it. Turn the ice prevention measures on. Okay, right, now we have some time. I'll go and sort the Navigraph charts out. So I need to go to navigraph.com/code. And I need to type in, I need to log in as me. Can I go in with this one? Enter the validation code. So what code have I just been sent? Oh, that's the code it means here, doesn't it? So PSD, GC, RSV, approve. Try again. PSD, GC. We may have to. Yeah, this is too old. So this has gone wrong. Oh, I find ways of breaking everything. Charts. Yeah, I can't actually use charts then because that code is expired. And it doesn't have a way of refreshing. Oh well. I don't think there's a way of rebooting the tablet either. I'm good at breaking things. I break things, so I find out for you guys. We do in the notes, so we have to just type. We can't just draw. So we'll just have the moving map. That's fine.
Polaris This control, Lima Uniform Bravo Quebec, flight level 160.
Ice detection has gone away.
Lima Uniform Bravo Quebec identified. Good afternoon.
Except as soon as I turn it off, it lights back up. I'm just going to leave it and see what happens. If we turn it into a snowball that plummets to the earth, that's my fault. So it's dropped to 1,000 feet a minute, trying to hold at just above 250 knots, indicated. But notice the indicated notice the Mach number is going up. So it's trying to hold 250 indicated, which is faster and faster the higher you are, which is interesting. So it's not dropping off on, so it's holding. So let's say we hold for VNav. But no, let's go for vertical speed. I'm just wondering what we could try to see if it behaves itself. If we go for vertical speed, it will hold the current vertical speed at 1,000 feet a minute. So in 10 minutes time we'll be at 30,000. But it'll be interesting to watch this speed now. It's not trying to hold 250 knots. It's going to hold 1,000 feet a minute climb rate. So you would expect this to slowly tail off and to drop back towards. So let's put this marker where it is at the moment, and then we can check it in a few minutes. So someone's made a very, very good comment actually. The free charts in here are pretty good. So if we go into Flight Planner, we can see it in here. If you want to get your route into here, it's fairly straightforward actually. You can go to planner.flightsimulator.com and that will pull up the flight planner. Obviously it'll have whatever you did last in it. So what you can do is go into SimBrief. Now if you copy this, I don't think it will take the ends of it. No, look, it's cut the runways off, the airports off, which is really annoying. If you do that and paste that in there, you get the runways. So if we save that, it will interpret it if it can. So there's our route. So then we can save that into the cloud. Could not say. I had this the other day. This may be an edge problem. Let's try it. So, or it's just the planners being rubbish at the moment. Was that for us on the radio, by the way? Yeah. Contacting Polaris Control 131.105, Eurowing 073. Good day. Polaris Control, Eurowing 073 with you, climbing to flight level 300. So I'm just open Chrome and we're going to go to Planner.Flight Simulator. We're going to log in with our Xbox account and it's me. It should know who I am. And it's looking for face fingerprint pin. Oh crikey. So let's go and put that in there. Use the pass key to get in, and we're in. So let's see if this is just a browser issue. So route, and then we go back into, oh, I've closed SimBrief in here, haven't I? I'm getting good at this. Go to SimBrief, my flight plan. Let's copy it again, because I just copied something else. So there we go. So there's the plan. Will it allow me to save it? No. Why? Is it this that it doesn't understand the altitude redirections? Yes. So it doesn't understand stepped climbs. So that saved it. So then in here, you can go back in here and open from the web, and it should be the first one, and it isn't. I don't know why that's not working. Oh well. Microsoft's obviously broken the Lufthansa Systems flight planner at the moment. Slightly annoying. You can do it by hand, of course. While we're still climbing, we can have some fun with this. So we can say we're going from Ento to ENTC. Tromso. And you could obviously put your routing in by hand. So we could go and enter route string. Let's try it. It's kind of worked. So you can do it that way. But the advantage of doing this is then you can come in here and you can see Ento departures. So we want the SIDS for runway 17.
Scandinavian 4806.
Obviously we did.
The ride's gotten pretty rough up here. We'd like higher when able.
We did that one. But yeah, it kind of works. So we're still holding 1,000 feet a minute. We can see the speed has dropped off as I expected, the indicated airspeed. But it's kind of backwards look. So we're doing Mach 0.6 now. So thinner air, faster aeroplane. We can go and turn this is all off and the threat of ice has gone away now, which is kind of what I expected. Should put the yoke back on. So this is getting dangerously slow. If I go, let's lessen our climb rate a little bit. So we just dropped the nose a little bit, so 750 feet a minute to 500, somewhere around there. Give it a little bit more. It will give it the opportunity to speed up. I'm just watching that needle as I fiddle with this switch. It's a bit difficult, but there we go. Oh, it's climbed all the way back up to 1,000. It's a very inexact science. I'm just trying to hold on to some speed. It's doing Mach 0.6. Maybe it is in 500 feet increments the way it does it, I don't know.
Scandinavian 4806 descend to
Why
point
were...
0 at your discretion.
It was saying the throttles were out of position.
Down to flight level 270, Scandinavian 4806.
How strange. So I'm going to let it hold at 500 feet a minute climb rate because I'm just keeping an eye on the indicated airspeed. I don't want it to get too low. Like I said, I was surprised we were given a flight level 310. That's probably near the ceiling. Should we go find out? maybe Simbrief has been overly optimistic. What is the ceiling cruise altitude of the BAe 146? I think it's just the 300 model we're in. It's 31,000, so that would be the absolute ceiling for cruise. Mach 0.7 maximum speed at cruise.
Scandinavian 4806, climb to flight level 320. Climbing flight level 320, Scandinavian 4806.
So there's a comment in the live stream saying it looks to be a very simple aircraft. Yeah, there's not much automation, if that's what you mean. But there's lots to play with. To like you can see me now managing the airspeed in the end of the climb, watching it carefully. So we're still doing Mach 0.6, and we're still climbing 500 feet a minute. If we went for indicated airspeed mode now, it will take the speed we're doing. Yeah, it's going to drop the nose look, and it's dropped to 400 feet a minute. Now I wonder if we can overstress the engines on purpose just to get to altitude. I mean, we could trade some airspeed off. I don't know what the minimum airspeed is for the airframe though, at altitude, so I don't want to play any dangerous games. How are we doing on the flight plan? Heading towards, yeah, there's 150 miles to get to the next waypoint, and we're 50 miles away from it. So we are just about on target then to go for the extra 1,000 feet. So we've got 30,000 feet is our target at the next waypoint, which is still 50 miles away. So it hasn't given us completely unreasonable climb requirements for the route. So at SOMUB we can go for 310. But we've still got 47 miles to run until we get there. Let's have a look outside. I'm just reading the live stream comments. Yeah, so there's a lot of steam gauges in this aeroplane, but I quite like that because everything makes sense. So you can check everything and see everything works as you would expect. I guess the one thing, you can remove the inertial reference system. So we've obviously got this modern GPS navigation system, or modern-ish. You can remove this and just go by VOR hopping, which I've done in the past. It's good fun. There's a little book up here. I can never remember how all this works.
Eurowing 073, please expedite your descent to flight level 300.
Polaris Control, Scandinavian 2471, flight level 240.
Oh, it didn't. I didn't arm it again. I did it again. Oh my word. descending flight level 300, Eurowing 073. Apologies. So to get there, we're going to hold our indicated airspeed and pull the power back. Actually, let's not do that. Let's do vertical speed. And let's get our speed up to Mach 0.7. This is a really good opportunity. We're losing 500 feet. We're going flat out on the engines. And we're going to gain a little bit of airspeed. I forgot to arm it, didn't I? Oh, I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. Serves me right for not paying attention. And the indicated airspeed is gently climbing, which is great. We'll need that in a moment. So this should switch over to altitude hold. There it goes. We're back at 30,000 feet. And we're 24 miles from the point at which we can climb another 1,000 feet. So I'm just reading the notes. Apparently the RJ100, the successor to the BAe 146, could climb to 35,000 feet, or at least on the book numbers. I don't think it was materially different though in terms of the engines.
Scandinavian 2471, continue descent to flight level 160.
Down to flight level 160, Scandinavian 2471.
So we'll use vertical speed to get up to 31,000 feet. We'll just gently nudge the aeroplane up. It will lose airspeed because we're going flat out on maximum continuous thrust. And we're just edging towards Mach 0.7. Look, we've just gone beyond it. So it's not going to easily get another 1,000 feet of altitude. Not at this speed anyway. We won't hold the speed, that's all I'm saying. Let's have a look. And then we've got 300 miles more or less at that altitude, and then we'll begin the descent. So we should have the descent penciled in LittleNavMap. This hasn't got the... There we go. So yeah, round about the start of the star, we begin descending. Right, here we go. Excuse me. As soon as we get through the next waypoint and get up to 31,000 feet, I'm going to step away, go stretch my legs, and maybe make myself some lunch. So we need to tell air traffic services that we are passing Soma.
2471, radio check, how do you read?
Scandinavian 2471, loud and clear.
Polaris Control, Eurowing 073 passing Soma, requesting climb to flight level 310.
Climb flight level 310.
Climbing flight level 310, Eurowing 073. We've got an overspeed warning. That's not going to last for long, because watch. Yeah, we lost the airspeed immediately, look. We're just over 1,000 feet a minute in vertical speed mode. And that's not armed again. Oh, it's because we're changing modes, that's why it disarmed. Okay. That's what threw me last time. Okay, so we're popping up to altitude, and then it'll go altitude hold all on its own. We're in lateral navigation mode. Then I just need to pull the engines back to cruise, which I should be able to do here. We'll just go to sync.
Switching to 124.43, Whiskey 4 Foxtrot uniform.
So altitude hold has just kicked in. So we go to sync mode now on the engines. Pulling the power back. And we just need to keep an eye on that indicated airspeed needle. I think it's still gently climbing. When I'm happy, it's not accelerating anymore. So I'm just watching it very, very carefully. Let's put that on the end of the needle.
Hey, Captain. Would you like anything to drink or a small snack while we're cruising?
We're good, thank you.
Of course, Captain. I'll be back with refreshments shortly.
So I'm going to ask Amanda if she can take over radio communications while I go make a coffee. Hi Amanda, can you take over radio communications for the next little while?
Sure, Jonathan. I'll handle the radios for now.
So I don't think we're accelerating. We seem to be holding quite smartly there. Very good. So I'm going to go make myself a coffee and I'll have a little break, stretch my legs, make myself some lunch, because we've got quite a long drag now across the interior of Norway, or the middle of Norway, up towards Tromso. So 300 miles without much to do other than cruise along quite happily. So I will see you all in a bit. Should we leave it on the outside view?
Eurowing 073, contact Polaris Control on 125.705.
Contacting Polaris Control on 125.705. Eurowing 073. Polaris Control, Eurowing 073. Good afternoon, maintaining flight level 310.
Yeah, it's a bit noisy out there, isn't it? Let's do something like this.
Polaris Control identified A.
And then we'll get rid of the taskbar. So I'm going to step away for a bit. We'll leave the aeroplane chugging along. Should we just move this view so you can see the needle there? That might be quite nice. So you can, or so I can see at a glance when I wander back in if we're over speeding or not. Okay, I'll see you soon. Take care.
2494 with you, flight level 360. Scandinavian 2494 identified. Good afternoon. Scandinavian 2494, traffic 10 o'clock, 8 miles, opposite direction, traffic at flight level 360. Looking Scandinavian 2494. Eurowing 073, contact Polaris Control on 118.555.
Switching to Polaris Control on 118.555. Eurowing 073. Polaris Control, Eurowing 073. Good afternoon with you, flight level 310.
Eurowing 073, Polaris Control identified, welcome. Scandinavian 2494, descend to flight level 290. Expect lower.
Out of flight level 340 for flight level 290, Scandinavian 2494.
Scandinavian 2494, descend flight level 240.
Descending to flight level 240, Scandinavian 2494.
Scandinavian 2494, descend to flight level 170.
Down to flight level 170, Scandinavian 2494. Scandinavian 2494, just confirming you have us.
Scandinavian 2494, loud and clear. Scandinavian 2494, descend to flight level 110, expect lower.
Descending to flight level 110, Scandinavian 2494.
Eurowing 073, descend via Atwick 2 Mike to 5,000 into Tromso. QNH 995.
Descend via Atwick 2 Mike to 5,000 into Tromso. QNH 995, Eurowing 073.
Eurowing 073, just so you know, they're shifting directions here soon. Approach will likely still give you runway 18 while they change it over. Scandinavian 4491 with you, flight level 350. Scandinavian 4491, good afternoon. Polaris Control, Scandinavian 4491, radio check. How do you read? Scandinavian 4491, 555.
Contacting Polaris Control on 126.705. Eurowing 073. Polaris Control, Eurowing 073. Good afternoon at flight level 310.
Eurowing 073, Polaris Control identified, welcome.
Say again, please. Not clear what you said. Say again.
Do you read me now?
Yes, Jonathan. I read you loud and clear. Let me know if you need anything.
I will take over radio communications now, Amanda.
All right, Jonathan. You're in charge of the radios now. Let me know if you need anything.
So we need to descend to 5,000 feet. Actually, what we'll do is go to 10,000, because that allows us to be above 250 knots on the way down. So, indicated airspeed mode. Polaris Control, Eurowing 073 beginning descent on the Atwi to Mike arrival into Tromso.
Eurowing 073, descend altitude 5,000.
Descending 5,000 on the Atway 2 Mike, Eurowing 073. So, I've let it drop like a stone. Let's see what happens. So what we've done is gone to indicated airspeed mode
we have now left our cruising
and pulled the power back.
started our approach to Tromso. Please return to your seats, stow your tables and fasten your seat belts. The use of lavatories is no longer permitted. Thank you for your cooperation.
So yeah, I do need to get a new headset, don't I? Because it's just done the high pitch trick on me several times. I wonder if I can reach out to Logitech and they'll give me one for nothing. Because it's not a good advert for their hardware, is it? That where if you touch any switches while during a session, it goes into chipmunk mode. So what we can do to analyze our descent rate, if we load the full interface back into LittleNavMap and we have a look down here and we make this bigger, we can see, yeah, we're not coming down steeply enough. So what we need to do is go and drop the spoilers. Look at that. So what we're actually doing here, look, engines are idled and we've opened the tail up to cause an enormous amount of drag. So we'll go reduce the drag a little bit so nose comes back up. So it's managing indicated airspeed mode, remember. So we're pretty much on target now with a little bit of spoiler usage to come in above 5,000 for non-route. So we're about to come into the star.
Eurowings 073, proceed direct back as. Descend and maintain altitude 4,500 feet. Cleared for the ILS Yankee runway 18 approach.
Proceed direct back south, descend and maintain 4,500 feet, cleared for ILS Yankee runway 18 approach, Eurowings 073. So let's have a look where back south is. There. So measure 40 degrees. So I'm going to turn off head tracking to do this accurately. We're going to go and put this to 40 degrees.
Eurowings 073, contact Tromso approach on 123.755.
Contacting Tromso approach 123755, Eurowings 073, good day. Tromso approach, Eurowings 073 with you, vectors to backsas and then approach for runway 18.
Eurowings 073, Tromso approach identified. Hello.
So we need to get the indicated airspeed down. So we're going to go for vertical speed mode, which will take the vertical speed it's currently doing, and then we're going to use more spoiler. So we've gone full spoilers, and look at the airspeed coming off, because we need to get through 10,000 feet at the appropriate speed. So that's done that. And then we go indicated airspeed mode again. I'll take the spoiler away and we should be able to glide down to the target altitude, which was 5,000, wasn't it? So let's take the target off. Arm the descent again for 5,000 feet. So we're still carrying on down. And we're pretty much on target, look. So the next thing we need to do is 109.9 on the nav 1. Went the wrong way there, didn't I? So that's the active, and we'll do the same for nav 2. We're in heading mode, so we can forget all about inertial navigation now. So we go to nav on the guidance systems, which means we can change the course through to 183 degrees. And of course it's the wrong way around the compass. How are we doing? 11,000 feet and descending. We're still quite high, aren't we? So let's go and throw the spoilers out. What was the instructions they gave? They just identified us, didn't they? So what's the transition altitude?
Eurowings 073, contact Tromso Tower on 118.305 when established.
7,000 feet.
Ensure your seats are in the full upright position and fasten your seatbelts. The current weather in Tromso is a temperature of 17 degrees.
Contacting Tromso Tower, 118.305 when established. Eurowing 073.
General Aviation
So we don't
Standard.
contact them just yet.
Thank you for your cooperation as we prepare for landing.
So if we have a little look on the map, just so you get to see where we are, I kind of know where we are. I'm going to double back now. If I can get the correct. So let's do an altitude hold at this point, because we don't want to go too much lower because of the hills, which will bleed some speed off, which is great. And we can start feeding flaps in as well. So we know we're off to one side, that's fine. We're just doing a bit of a teardrop to join. So you can see we're going to come back in and join the way in. Okay, let's go and contact Tromso
check
Tower.
below 205. Select flaps 18.
Get out. So let's turn the autopilot off now.
Autopilot disconnected.
There's Tromso down there. So I'm looking now at the localizer and the glide slope. We're a little bit high. Let's chuck some spoilers out to arrest our acceleration as we descend. Trimming the aeroplane as we go. Tromso, Eurowing 073, engaged on localizer, runway 18. So there's the ILS glide slope.
073, Tromso Tower, roger, continue approach runway 18.
Continue approach runway 18, Eurowing 073. So we're just coming in at a slight angle, which means we avoid these hills to an extent, which is really good. Bring the power back up.
2500.
So we've got landing lights on. Flaps are already down, gear is down. So we're just keeping an eye on the glide slope and the localizer and watching the runway. We've got a nice clear view of the runway on the way into Tromso. So yes, just having a quick look across the live stream comments. Say Intentions is entirely flexible. So the controllers are there to help you and to obviously to guide you and to enforce aviation law. So I'm just bringing the power up a little bit to stop ourselves slowing down any further. Get rid of the spoilers. So yeah, Say Intentions is entirely flexible. Therefore you can have conversations with the controllers.
73, continue approach.
Continuing approach 73. Therefore you have got flexibility.
Eurowing 073, runway 18, wind 010 at 9er, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 18, copy weather, Eurowing 073. So we are now full flaps. Shall I show you this from outside? It's posh, isn't it? A little bit above the glide slope at the moment, but we're visual now. So seeing as we are so stable, we can actually have a look. I don't want to get much below 120 knots.
Runway 18.
So we are sinking gently. Weather's nice and calm here. We're drifting a little bit to the left, so I'm guessing there's some crosswind and we're going low. So let's just correct that. I'm not sure I agree with the guidance. We seem high, don't we? Or it feels high. Yeah, we're being pushed by the wind a little bit. It's a bit gusty. It's not consistent.
Minimums. Light slope.
Yeah, I'm going low on purpose.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Ground idle. Brake pressure seen.
This has got the best air brakes in the business for slowing down on the runway.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tromso. Did you know that Tromso is often referred to as the gateway to the Arctic? It's a fantastic place to experience the northern lights and the midnight sun. Thank you for flying with Eurowings. Please remain seated until we reach our final parking
runway
position.
36.
Okay, let's go and check the... We got tower, we haven't...
073, welcome to Tromso. Exit at hotel, if able. Taxi to general aviation, stand 909 via hotel stay on this frequency.
Let's go and talk to them about that then. Taxi to general aviation, stand 99 via hotel, will stay on frequency Eurowings 073. So let's go and have a look at the charts, shall we? So obviously this one doesn't have the appropriate chart. Let's ask the co-pilot if they can find the taxi plate for us, or taxi diagram. Hi Amanda, can you bring up the taxi diagram for Tromso, please?
I wasn't able to locate that chart. You might want to pull it up manually in Navigraph.
Okay. Sometimes they can do it, sometimes they can't.
Your Navigraph account doesn't seem to have charts access right now. You may need to disconnect and reconnect your Navigraph account in the pilot portal to pick up the required chart subscription.
Yep, I know. That was on me. I didn't do it. So, show...
Quick note. I'm getting a charts access error from Navigraph. It looks like charts may not be included in your current subscription, or your account may need to be reconnected in the pilot portal.
There we go. I need to go and reconnect it. That's one of the issues you get if you have sent your simulator in to be fixed and they've done stuff to it, or set your PC in, I guess. So we're going to go to airports and Tromso and charts and taxi and parking stands. Where's 99 then? Interesting. I'm not seeing a 9er anywhere. Okay, in that case, I'm not going to pay too much attention to the guidance, and we're just going to go and find somewhere to park. There seems to be an empty parking spot next to the Airbus here. There's 17, it's going to be 18, isn't it? Or is this 16? It's 18. So we're going to go for this one. It may be because I've got custom scenery as well, which isn't helping. I'm not sure if that will fit down the side of this aeroplane because it's quite a thick aeroplane. Oh, well, maybe it will. Anyway, the main part of our job here today is done already. So we've still got the APU running, so we can just go and shut the aeroplane down because the APU gen's still running.
Having through, stores to manual and test jet.
Oh, before we do anything, overhead we need to go and turn the beacon light off, strobes off, and nav lights off. Engines are now off. Fuel dampers off, autopilot master off, avionics can stay on for the moment. Going to put the chocks in place. And yeah, this uses stairs, so we're just going to go and open the door and hopefully they won't crash into the jetway there. Let's find out. Are we going to clang into them? Oh, that was close. Yeah, it's not really kitted out to go onto the jetway. Anyway, jet bridge, sorry. There we go. So, we made it. We made it to Tromso in the BAe 146, which I've not flown for a very long time. I will say it's very nice to fly, and it works wonderfully, and all of the modes on the autopilot work, and there's a lot more human input in terms of you making the decisions, which I really like. And if you pair that with something like Say Intentions, where the AI is not scripted and you can have rational conversations with the controllers about, you know, what your plans are or what the possibilities are, it's absolutely fantastic. Anyway, so we've got some questions in the live stream before we go. So someone's saying, great job, Jonathan, nice to see you back in the saddle. Yeah, it's been weird being away. What does the landing rate monitor say? Is there a landing rate monitor? I don't think I was running one, was I? Is there one in LittleNavMap? I don't think there is. If I'd been running transmitter, it would have told me, but I wasn't running anything that was monitoring the landing rate. I came in quite smoothly, so you know, we went and flared and just dropped it gently onto the runway. Can we see the Northern Lights? Not unless there's a solar storm happening and we happen to be in the dark, which we are not. There's a lot of airplanes here, aren't there? So we got some Lufthansas. There's a Scandinavian Airlines. What's the... Is that Vaclav Havel or somebody? Let's go and have a look. Just wondering which one this is. Oh no, Helmer Hansen, Norwegian Pilot Explorer. So it's Norwegian Air. What we got down here? Another Lufthansa and another one I don't recognise. Embraer. Oh, it's a factory paint job. There we go. Hopefully you enjoyed that today. So that was a little flight from Where did we take off from? Near Sandefjord, Torp airfield, and we flew over to Tromso. So flew across from south to north across Norway. Obviously Norway goes a lot further north than this, so if you go and look on the map, it goes right around the edge of the Arctic Circle. So you've got Hammerfest, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. Very, very pretty little airfield there. It's dangerous with GA planes because of the wind whistling over these hills. I've had some near spectacular crashes there in the simulator in the past. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that today. Good to be back. We'll see you soon. Take care.